Stand by, recording in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Hello and welcome to EHC-TV. I'm Khalil King.
And I'm Will Seidel. Welcome back to this week's show. So Khalil, man, Halloween.
Let's hear it.
Tomorrow. But we can't go trick-or-treating. You know why? Because once you're age 13 and over in the state of Virginia, well, some parts of the state of Virginia, I should say, you could be arrested. So no trick-or-treating for you, man.
No trick-or-treating for me.
No trick-or-treating for you after the age of 13 in some areas of Virginia.
Hey, that's okay. I'll be at the White Topper, having a Halloween party anyway, and then I'll go back to Alabama where I don't have to worry about such laws. Who do you have on set today?
I have Tunde Ashoka, the senior rugby player, talking about how his transition from football over to rugby.
Teammate?
How the rugby, yeah, your teammate from rugby, and how how the rugby team has been really successful this year. Who do you have?
It should be a blast.
Should be a
blast. I have one of our very own, Christina Mitchell. So
the White
it's going to be really,
I see why
really
you wore
exciting.
that pin today. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, hey, it's going to be great. Christina's a sharp lady. Didn't she intern at NASA over the summer?
She did, but let's not spoil
Let's
everything.
not spoil anything. All right,
people.
yeah, I get you.
We will now toss it over to Grayson Williams with this week's news.
Hi, I'm Grayson Williams, bringing you this week's news update. Emory & Henry has partnered with the American College of Sports Medicine to offer Exercise as Medicine on campus, designed to help improve the lifestyle of college campuses. E&H is one of only 200 schools worldwide to partner with this program. Performers from the upcoming musical Jerry's Girls invite you to a lunch and listen held in the McLaughlin Center of the Arts at noon on November 2nd. The cast and crew will be giving a preview of the music featured in the play as well as interviews. E&H Cares will host bystander intervention training beginning Monday, October 29th through Thursday, November 1st. This will teach bystanders how to intervene before, during, or after an incident of sexual violence, relationship abuse, and stalking. The deadline for Spring Study Abroad registration is this Thursday, November 1st. Use PebblePad to complete the application or email international@ehc.edu November 6th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. More than 20 graduate schools will participate in the annual Graduate School Fair. Each school will provide goodies and door prizes. That's all for this week's news update. I'm Grayson Williams.
Hello and welcome to this week's feature interview. I'm Khalil King, and today we have one of our very own, Christina Mitchell, who has proven to be a very, very impressive senior this year. Christina, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome, very welcome. So Christina, first I want to dive in and talk about the fact that you were only 16 when you entered college. Can you talk about how you were able to do that?
I was homeschooled into my sophomore year of high school. So I basically did one semester of homeschooling, just reading textbooks that I found interesting, and then I just started taking some college classes.
Very nice. And you weren't necessarily intimidated by really grabbing college by the horns as far as getting involved with things. You're the editor-in-chief of the White Topper staff, which I'm rocking right now representing. I'm an editor. Of course, looking forward to our party tomorrow.
Yeah.
You're here with us now as a stage director in EHC-TV, and just kind of how did you have that confidence coming in at such a young age? And
Well, it took a while to build up.
Okay.
I didn't come to Emory & Henry until I was 17. I spent most of my first year commuting, and I didn't really start getting involved in things until last year when I joined the mass communications department. And I got involved in White Topper and EHC-TV, and I've been getting involved in different things ever since.
Nice. In your homeschooling experience, where did the kind of mass communication scene stem from?
I always enjoyed to write. When I was homeschooled, I would just devour novels. So I initially wanted to major in English and write or teach, which is not my thing, but I've always enjoyed science too, so kind of science communication was a natural extension of that. So science communication and strategic communication is the route that I ended up going for.
Nice. Now I know you just got back from your internship, which was a bit impressive. Talk about your experience with NASA and how you came upon this experience and opportunity.
Well, last summer, before I changed majors, I went to a fair and got to spend some time speaking to someone from the NASA Langley Research Center, which is the oldest NASA center, actually predates NASA. And they told me that I should start considering applying to NASA internships and told me how to go through that process. So I did and ended up getting an internship at the NASA Glenn Research Center in Cleveland, Ohio, with the Technology Transfer Office, which takes NASA technologies and transfers them so they're more applicable to the public and influences our day-to-day lives. Like, we have no idea how often we use NASA technology.
I know that we use a lot of NASA technology, and through watching different videos and YouTube, and I've seen that some people argue that NASA is no longer relevant. A lot of people aren't investing in the budget. Can you tell me how relevant NASA is even today?
Oh, it's extremely relevant. I mean, typically when you hear NASA, you think space. We no longer have the shuttle program, but the International Space Station is still active, and experiments happen on the International Space Station every day, like medicine, biology, that sort of thing, that researchers can bring back to Earth, and like it influences medicine oftentimes. And like, we're planning to go back to the moon within the next 4 years, Mars within the next 12. So, I mean, those are some of the big things that NASA's still doing, but you still have like the little everyday things. Like, for instance, this summer I got to interact with some inventors who are working with Goodyear to create a tire made out of like a shape memory alloy, a smart metal, that they're going to coat with rubber, and we could see on the road in the next couple of years.
Wow. I know you can't tell everything. There's a lot of confidentiality with NASA. What's the most influential aspect of this internship that you've been able to take away that you can talk about?
Honestly, I think just interacting with the inventors on a day-to-day basis. Part of my internship was photographing inventors, so I photographed approximately 85 inventors in their labs over the course of the summer. So, you know, just standing around talking with them, learning about what they were doing, just learning about the science and delving in. It's all extremely fascinating. I really loved it.
Okay. Now, where do you see yourself moving forward past this? You know, it's our senior year. You've been with NASA. Do you feel like you have an opportunity to entry back into that organization, or?
Yes. Speaking with my mentor, like before I left, there are possibilities for me to get involved with the Technology Transfer Office again, which I would love to do. I'm currently being considered for a couple of media positions at NASA, and I'm planning to go to grad school after graduation. So.
Awesome. So you got a lot of decisions to make.
I certainly do.
Well, I wish you all the best of luck with that, and I thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. And I thank you all for watching. I will now swing it over to Cam Durr with this week's sports update.
I'm Cam Durr with this week's sports update. The Emory and Henry football team dropped to the undefeated in-conference Randolph-Macon Yellow Jackets with a score of 56-21. Transfer quarterback Jake Sturgill led with 221 passing yards, while freshman Robert Hennessy led the Wasps' running game with 27 yards. On the defensive side of the ball, sophomore standout Tyler Redmond led the team with 15 total tackles, 14 being solo. The women's soccer team finished their season shutting out Sweetbriar 8-0 on Saturday, scoring 4 in the first and 4 in the second. They finished their season with a 2-15 record. The men's golf team took second after Monday's round at Maryville Fall Invitational. Sophomore Wesley Jones led the team, shooting 2 over par on a difficult 6,432-yard course. The women's cross-country team took 6th during the ODAC tournament this past Saturday, while the men finished 8th. The volleyball team had a good showing on senior night, blanking Mid-Atlantic Christian in just 3 sets Friday night. Coming up, football heads to Bridgewater for a conference matchup. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. Saturday. Good luck to the men's golf team, who plays in their second round of Maryville Fall Invitational today. That's all for this week's sports update. I'm Cam Durr.
Welcome, world. Welcome to this week's sports interview. With me today is senior rugby player Tunde Ashaka, talking to me about how he came here to play football. but also transitioned from football to rugby during the spring semester of his junior year. Tune, thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
Absolutely. So you played football. You got recruited here to play football,
Yes,
and then you switched to rugby. What was the decision in that transition?
Honestly, it was more of a me thing. I felt like it was just not working out. And then Harlan Faddis, he's a junior right now. He introduced me to the rugby team. He kept on trying to make me come out. So I tried it, and I liked it, and I'm still on the team right now.
Did you know anything about rugby when you transitioned?
No, I still don't know much about rugby. I just play, honestly.
But people say it's a combination of football and like soccer in a way. Can you like explain some of the details?
I would say it's less football, honestly, more soccer and other sports. But I wouldn't say much like football because there's rules and like stuff you have, but less than football.
I guess basically
soccer.
the only thing about football is just tackling wise. That's basically the only thing about football.
That's the only thing about football.
So, and you're from Powder Springs, Georgia?
Powder Springs, Georgia.
Yes. So when you recruited here to play football, how did you hear about Emory and Henry first off?
I was blessed to play JV my freshman year of high school. My other friends, they were on the freshman football team, so I was blessed. I got to be introduced into scouts, and Coach Doss, who's now at Ferrum, used to come watch me play as a freshman in high school, and he would always tell me that I would end up here, and I would always be like, I think I'm a little bit better than that, but I guess I'm here.
Absolutely. So, being from Powder Springs, Georgia, obviously you played against some big time athletes, and that's why I thought, if I could play with these guys, then I could be somewhere else. Can you name some of the athletes that you played against in high school?
Played against Alvin Kamara, Taj Griffin was on my team, Chuma Doga. I've played against Kim Dichie from Ole Miss. That was one of the first high school games I've ever played against.
And he was the #1 overall recruit in the country at one point. Wow, that's crazy.
Many great names, honestly. Many great names.
Absolutely.
It's a privilege to be able to play with great athletes like that, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely. So when you got here to Emory and Henry, obviously playing against those great athletes, did that give you an edge when you came up here to play football? Do you think that really gave you a competitive edge?
I mean, yes. I always just had the mindset as a child that if they can put on their pants, I can put on my pants too. So no one's really scaring me out here. So I feel like if they could do it, I can do it too.
And you weren't really a starter last year, but last year on the football team, y'all had great expectations, predicted first in ODAC play. Did that play a thing, just not having a successful football season? You're like, listen, I want to try something different. I want to see what rugby's got, or what went into that process?
I wouldn't say that. I would say it's a more, like I said before, a personal me thing. I felt like it was just not working out, so I just had to hang up the cleats for that. But I felt like I could still play sports, and I didn't want to waste my life just being a college student. I feel like I could do more for our college, so I joined the rugby team.
Are you still close with the football players on the team?
Always. Some of my best friends are on the football team. I love all of them, and I wish them luck every week. Go Vols.
So rugby, y'all have had a pretty successful year. So obviously Saturday you went on the road against North Carolina State and ended up winning that game actually.
Yes, sir.
Now, was that actually North Carolina State's official rugby team?
Yes, sir. We were originally supposed to play their B team, but they started putting A guys in. So.
Wow, that's really impressive. That is really impressive. So can you talk about that game? Were they just a far way better team athletically than you guys, or did y'all just play more as a team, or?
Honestly, I didn't really get to play that game because I was sick. But I heard it was really it was supposed to be a blowout. Honestly, they were supposed to beat us, but I guess we're a more coached team, I would say. So
more well-coached team.
More well-coached team.
So. Does that go to a question with Coach Doc O'Neill? Do you like him as a coach and as a player?
I love Doc.
You love Doc?
One of my favorite human beings in the world.
Is he like a father figure to you?
I would say.
You would say so?
Yes, sir.
Now, when you look at some of the games that y'all have played, I believe in the past, the rugby teams played Appalachian State. The one loss y'all have is against Washington Lee. You guys are 4-1. Have you watched the rugby team before you got on there? Did you know about it, their record or their players or anything like that?
Since I played last year, when I first started, we weren't really that good, and then we gradually got better. And this year, we're the best I've ever seen, honestly. So it's just a growing process, and in probably 5 years, it's going to be even better than we are now. I hope to be. I just want to continue to grow.
Yeah, absolutely. Now it's not really a varsity sport, but hopefully one day it could be. Yeah, absolutely. So what are some of the athletes on Emory's team that's really impressed you, from last spring to this semester?
Do you mean on my team, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Just on like
Khalil King, number 1. I would
Khalil
have to
King, number
say.
1.
Khalil King.
My co-host right there.
Co-host Khalil King. Shout out to Khalil. I would also like to shout out Harlan Faddis, David Dawes. Who else is a great Victory. Also, everyone on our team is a great player in my eyes. And I just think that we're gonna get better and we're gonna win this tournament this Saturday coming up.
Now you're a senior too. How many seniors are on the team? Is the rugby team going to lose a lot next year, or?
I'm not sure about the exact amount on the team, but I'm pretty sure we have like a few.
I know Khalil's a senior, and then you're a senior.
Three of us: me, Khalil, and Jake.
Appreciate it, Nick Barr.
Thank you, Nick Barr. Also on the rugby team.
Also on the rugby team. Nick Barr was actually a football player too. That actually went over to rugby. So a lot of football players switch from football over to rugby. Now, do you think you'll be involved with rugby, coaching rugby, you know, once you hang up the cleats for good in high school and move on with your life? Or you think you'll stick with football? Because I know you love sports in general.
We only can see. I'm not going to answer that right now because I'm still in college. I just don't know where life will take me.
So what's your major here?
I'm a business and geography major, but I specialize in GIS, so I make maps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So what are you wanting to do with that in life?
I would like to go back to Georgia and design the areas around there.
Yeah, absolutely.
My county, Cobb County. Since it's we just got that new stadium, the Brave Stadium, I would like to stay in that area where I'm from.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, Tunde, thank you so much for joining me. Good luck with you guys the rest of the way, and keep me updated. Absolutely.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. And we will now move it over to Sam Monga with this week's rant.
Hey everybody, and welcome to today's rant. First of all, I got good news and not so good news. First of all, for those of you who celebrate Halloween, happy Halloween. I do not celebrate Halloween. Today's rant is going to be about aviation. Why aviation in specific? Because I'm a huge aviation enthusiast, and over the past couple of days, there's been some very hot news about in the aviation industry. Let's start off with the good news. On Sunday, Kenya Airways is now the second East African carrier to go from Kenya directly to JFK. The inbound flight will take about 15 hours, and the flight back will take about 14 hours. Why is this such a big deal? Why is this such a big deal? You may be asking. One, this is literally this is literally a step in Kenya's business agreements with the United States, meaning that we can have exports to the U.S., like exporting flour, coffee, and other merchandise. Two, we now can have a direct flight between the two countries instead of going in between countries like Amsterdam or even the Asian market. So that's fabulous. That's absolutely fabulous. The inbound flight from Nairobi to New York, that's KQ, that's Kenya Airways Kilo Quebec 002, and the flight from New York to Nairobi, that's KQ 003. That is Quebec 003. Kilo Quebec 003. Now some bad news. You may have heard about the Lion Air flight, but it crashed just off the coast of Jakarta. That was a 737-800 MAX. That is the Boeing's recent and most newest aircraft. It is sad to find that 189 passengers have lost their lives during the course of that crash. So if you're out there today, I want you all to keep those people and their families in their prayers. This aircraft, the 737-800 MAX, is fairly new. It has had sales in Ryanair and many other airlines worldwide, including Southwest Airlines. The thing I don't understand is the aircraft had mechanical issues the night before, right? And now they said they fixed it. According to what I know about aviation and all my 21 years of knowledge, I'm not speculating anything, but what I'm saying is if they were given a fit-to-fly certificate by the Jakarta Airport authorities, they should have made sure that aircraft was fit to fly before takeoff. That is just my assumption. The information has not released until the black boxes have come out. That being said, today I want you to do one thing. I want you to look at your neighbor and tell them, I appreciate you. Everybody around, including my people and my TV, film. Look at the person next to you and tell them, I appreciate you. Because, and tell them your life is valuable. Tell them that. Tell them your life is valuable.
Your life is valuable, man.
The reason why I'm saying those two important things is because you never know when is the last time you're going to see those people ever again. And that Jakarta, in that Lion Air flight, there were families. There was a newborn baby. There were kids, married couples whose last words may have been, hey, I love you. And to only find out that they did not arrive at their final destination is super sad. So it's really important to sum up everything, to share and to value everyone around you. Ladies and gentlemen, cherish and value your friends, your family members, and all those around, because you never know when their last breath may be. It might be today, it might be tomorrow, God forbid death. But it's really important to really, and I emphasize this again and again, to cherish those around you. Just to conclude, I really want to say, since we're going into the season of Thanksgiving, I believe Thursday, one of these few days is the 1st of November. I just want to say happy early Thanksgiving to everyone, and I just really want to say, and I will continue saying this until Thanksgiving is over, but I am very blessed and appreciative to work with such an amazing EHC-TV crew, cameraman, and reporters alike. God bless you guys. My name is Sam Mungai. Stay blessed, Emery.
I scared him, man. I scared him. Do you see that?
Good job,
I scared him.
To our viewers, although we scared you, we just want to let you know that we appreciate you and we hope you have an amazing Halloween.
Yeah, absolutely. Khalil, blast off outer space. Christine Mitchell, great.
Of course,
she was
bro.
awesome.
She's transmundane. She's out of this world.
Yes, she is. Out of this world. I see what you did there.
But also, I got a little insider on her costume for tomorrow's party. So I won't ruin things now, but I'm just gonna let you know you better bring your A game.
I'll guess
Player.
alien, astronaut, or a uniform that resembles Space Force. That's my girl right there.
Not remotely
she knows
close, but
well,
bring your A game.
hey, it's all right. It's all right. He understands me right there, don't you, buddy?
However, I do appreciate you bringing another teammate to raise the rugby.
Tunde? Hey,
the rugby
Tunde was,
clout. We got it.
Tunde was something else, I tell you what. He was a laid-back, calm, cool collective. He's a all around nice guy, man. He was really, really awesome. Appreciate you hooking me up with that, by the way.
Yeah, man, I had to. For everyone that doesn't know, we have our tournament this Saturday at Roanoke. Go ahead and come out. And we just want to thank you again for watching this week's episode.
I'm Will Seidel.
I'm Khalil King.
And we'll see you next week. Thank you.